impromptu championship match. Ronda Rousey's just been in a war.
WWE Veteran has a vicious possible plan for Charlotte Flair to inflict pain on Tiffany Straton in their feud. Charlotte Flair is set to lock horns with Tiffany Straton at WrestleMania 41 for the WWE Women's Championship. Ahead of their title match, Bully Ray, aka Bubba Ray Dudley, shared his thoughts on what should be included in the feud between the Queen and the Buff Barbie. In a recent episode of the Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray envisioned a segment where Charlotte Flair would apply the figure 8 leg lock to Tiffany Straton, causing her to pass out. He suggested that the Queen should then retrieve scissors from her bag. The WWE Hall of Famer wants Flair to deliver a promo addressing the constant comparisons between herself and Tiffany Straton, particularly regarding their blonde hair. I have this vision of Tiffany Straton battles top star in champion versus champion bout on WWE SmackDown. WWE SmackDown's leading ladies WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Straton and United States Champion Chelsea Green met in the ring tonight. SmackDown this week was from the same city that will host the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event, Toronto. Stratton and the legendary Trish Stratus kicked off SmackDown tonight to sell their tag team match against Nia Jax and Candice Lerae at Elimination Chamber tomorrow night. After getting flattened by Jax last week, the pair are eager to get their hands on Tiffy's former allies. Rocking similar Toronto Maple Leaf jerseys, the pair stated that it was Tiffy and Trishy time. The two tossed their custom-made jerseys into the crowd, leaving a few WWE fans with some incredible souvenirs before they were interrupted by Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. Chelsea demanded the spotlight from the WWE Women's Champion, stating that it was her time to lead the brand and that she didn't need her mommy, Stratus, to dress her. With that, Stratton challenged Green to a one-on-one bout. Though she tried her best to get out of it, Green was forced into the one-on-one in an impromptu champion versus champion brawl. Tiffany Straton and Chelsea Green brawl to a no contest thanks to Nia Jax and Candice Lerae. Tiffany Straton and Green had the Toronto house rocking tonight. It was a short but exciting back and forth between two of the top names on the blue brand. Unfortunately, we never got to the finish, as Nia Jax and Candice Lerae intervened, throwing the bout out in the process. Jax and Lerae attempted to send a message and possibly injure their Elimination Chamber opponents. However, Stratus and Stratton learned from last week and managed to send the former champion to the floor. Stratton set up for the prettiest moonsault ever on Lerae, only for Jax to pull her out before the champion could hit the final jump. Tiffany Straton will get her chance to squash Lerae and Jax tomorrow night, as she pairs up with Trish Stratus for a tag team match. As for Chelsea Green, this isn't the first time has written a check she wasn't willing to cash. Over on NXT, Green and Niven got into a heated backstage altercation with Sol Ruca and ZARIA, setting up a tag team match for next week. Tiffany Straton suffers awkward wardrobe malfunction as WWE forced to cut live TV broadcast to black screen. Tiffany Straton suffered an awkward wardrobe malfunction during her clash with Candice Lerae. The WWE star won the duel over Lerae, but it was a moment during the fight that caused a stir. Straton, 25, was in the corner of the ring as she tried to pull off a move on her foe. But it was then when her top slipped, which caused the broadcaster to take action. The live TV stream was cut, and a black screen was displayed to viewers. The WWE Women's Champion did not continue to win on the night, as she was beaten by Nia Jax. It is not the first time, as she has suffered a wardrobe malfunction. In May 2024, she had to cover her private parts after her garment was ripped. Stratton has recently opened up on her success over the last year. I feel like Elimination Chamber was my breakout performance last year. I'm super excited to be going into Elimination Chamber with Trish Stratus as my tag team partner. She said, Charlotte Flair is my inspiration. She's who I saw on Friday Night SmackDown and was doing all these cool tricks and flips in the ring, and immediately I was like, she kind of reminds me of myself. I just feel like in my career it's always been sink or swim, and I really truly feel like every single performance I've ever had, I've barely made it through. I literally just clenched my teeth and I prayed, and somehow each performance ends up better than the last, and that's all I really strive for. I want to keep improving and growing. In wrestling, you can never be perfect. You can always keep improving your craft and getting better at promos or your character, and in the ring. I want to keep getting better and better. When I enter WrestleMania, I am going to beat the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Who knew TIFFY time would be this exciting?
Charlotte Flair broke a long-standing WWE tradition to show she's a perfect natural heel. Charlotte Flair triumphantly returned to wrestling at the WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event, competing in her first match in over a year after a serious knee injury. She was pre-announced for the match, so it wasn't a surprise moment, but in typical Flair fashion, she made sure everyone left the show talking about her. That's because the Queen returned with a bang, winning the Women's Royal Rumble and booking her place at WWE WrestleMania 41. However, after a brief moment in the sun as a babyface, fans brought her crashing back down to earth with a bang by booing her out of the building the following night, proving her quality as a heel by going against a classic wrestling tradition. Typically, in wrestling, whenever someone returns from a serious injury, they're welcomed back with a babyface run because fans are just happy to see them. Considering the length of time that Charlotte was sidelined for, coupled with her general star power, most people presumed that would be the case here. Charlotte Flair didn't get the welcome back babyface run. Flair got a good reception in the Royal Rumble match itself, and that seemed to set things up positively for a babyface run. However, the next night on WWE Raw, fans hated her again, and it was as if no time had passed from her previous run in WWE, despite the fact she was cutting a genuinely babyface promo about the adversities she's dealt with and the problems she's had to overcome. Fans just seem to have zero sympathy for Flair. It's a unique situation for someone to be in, but it does prove that she's a genuinely fantastic heel. And that's not easy to find when someone is also a terrific in-ring talent like she is. That WWE consistently makes booking mistakes with Charlotte Flair. Big reason fans immediately turned on Charlotte Flair after her return is that there appears to be nothing new with her character or in how WWE is booking her. From the moment she arrived on the main roster, WWE has forced her into main event positions, racking up title wins to seemingly catch her father's record as quickly as possible. None of that aligns with a babyface, so people prefer to cheer the likes of Bayley or Becky Lynch. Fans like to see someone scrap and earn their opportunities, and returning from a serious injury like Flair did provide WWE the chance to tell that story with Flair, having her narrowly miss out and be forced to scrap for everything. However, WWE just had her waltz back and immediately won the Royal Rumble. That's the same type of booking the company has always done. Unfortunately, at this stage, audiences are genuinely tied to it. Flair might be an incredible professional wrestler, but she has become stagnant, and that's a problem for her character. The fact that fans wasted no time telling WWE exactly that isn't a positive sign either. There are certain wrestlers who fans cannot imagine as a heel, such as Rey Mysterio, but Charlotte Flair falls into the opposite category. While she's been a babyface in the past, it is a role that's never quite suited her and has never felt truly organic or natural when it has been attempted. Charlotte Flair is unlikely to ever work as a babyface. A big reason for that is her overall presentation. While some fans can get cheered for claiming they're the best in the world, such as CM Punk, Flair cannot. Seeing her walk out in huge robes or wearing designer gear for promos all push a classic heel character, and her often arrogant persona only supports that Flair is a genuinely brilliant heel who always gets a massive reaction from the fans, which is crucial for anyone in this role. WWE doesn't have many of these at the top level, and that's why the company might just consider never changing her at this point. The path forward for Charlotte can already be seen, as she is now fully leaning into her heel gimmick, as was shown on last week's SmackDown during her promo with Tiffany Straton. There's no turning back now. Charlotte Flair shows off new physique. Sends message to fans. Charlotte Flair showed off her impressive new physique on social media following this week's edition of WWE Raw. Flair missed over a year of action due to a major injury before her return at Royal Rumble 2025. That the veteran returned to the ring during the Women's Royal Rumble match and